Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to Daily Current Affairs Initiative. So we will see the current affairs of yesterday's and today. So as I said in yesterday's session that we are going to have discussion of Saturday and Sunday yesterday, and yesterday's and today's will be discussed today. So there are a lot of news, but these are all very important. I mean, we cannot ignore. So that's why a little bit a lengthy session can be expected. But yes, there are a lot of important articles which we will be covering in today's session. So briefly, we will go through what are all the articles that we are going to cover for today. Okay. So North Atlantic Treaty Organization, you all know if you are following at least in the social media that Sweden has become 32nd NATO country. This will be asked in the exam. We will see briefly about NATO as well in the discussion. And then Amrit Bharat station scheme recently launched by our Honorable Prime Minister with 19,000 crore funds. We will see in detail what is the initiative, what is the objectives and all, which is relevant for our exam. And then Garbhini program, this is taken from the Hindu newspaper. We will see in detail what is the program and why it is there in news. And a very important article, Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act of 2009. We will have a good discussion on it because the questions can be expected if you have written some of the exams including the state PSC of group 2. So there's a lot of statement based questions and there are slight change in the facts also. You need to have a clear understanding of all the concepts and then facts as well. So we will have a detailed discussion on this, which is very important for our exam, and we will also see why it is there in news. Then world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector was unveiled by our Honorable Prime Minister a day before, right? So this is also very important article and it may take some time because we need to discuss a little bit more factual data. And then Growth Hub program of NITI Aayog. These are all hasn't covered by the newspapers, Hindu or Indian Express. These are all taken from Press Information Bureau, right? So we will have a exam relevant discussion on all these articles. And the next article is Mohinder Singh Gill versus Election Commissioner, a Supreme Court case way back in 1978, which is in news. And Supreme Court cases are very important for our exams. What is the theme or what happened? So something like that they may ask, or they may give situation and they will give 4 cases where you need to choose the correct one. And then Blanets, not planets but Blanets. Okay, so this also we will see what is the thing. And then Bharat Tex 2024 conference, which is happening in India, New Delhi. And then Dharma Guardian, a military exercise between India and Japan. We will see the details as well. International Purple Fest 2024, again a short article. And then 13th Ministerial Conference of World Trade Organization, which has started yesterday in Abu Dhabi. We will see the details about it as well. And then Homo Sep Autumn, this is very important. You can expect questions. And then new projects launched by our Honorable Prime Minister in last 2 days. We will quickly go through those projects. And then some factual pointers which are very important, those also we will discuss. And finally we will see some practice questions. So there are a lot of articles, but trust me, all these articles are in news in last 2 days, and which is very important for any exams that you are going to write. Okay, so I hope you are ready for the session. We will go into details one by one. First thing, the context itself is important. Sweden has set to become 32nd NATO country. So yesterday Hungary has given assent. A few days before Turkey has accepted. So that's why Sweden has become the 32nd NATO country. Very important to remember. Now let's understand the background why Sweden has struggled to get the membership into NATO. There is one condition to join NATO organization, that all the previous members, for example, this Sweden is a 32nd country. So all the countries that were existing, 31 countries, has to accept that any country will be joining the NATO. So that's why Sweden was not able to get immediate permission from all the countries. We have different issues for that. No need to worry or grill too much. Turkey and Hungary were the 2 countries which were hindering the process for Sweden to join into the NATO. Okay, so Turkey was saying that they have some anti-national activities and those members are being supported by Sweden, right? And then Hungary has some clashes with Sweden. So after all this process, they have agreed or they have given assent to Sweden to join into the NATO. Okay, so this is the background, what has happened. Now, what actually is NATO? That's how the questions can be framed. I mean, the questions can come from those organizations because it was the actual news. So Sweden has joined. Now let's see what is NATO. You all know after World War II in 1945, there were two major groupings in the world. One is led by USSR, that is the current Russia, and the second one is led by USA, right? So there were two groupings and they were competing each other. There was a Cold War immediately started after the World War II. So this NATO has come into the picture, which were established by the bloc led by USA. So this is a bloc led by USA. They have established in 1949 through an agreement or treaty called as Washington Treaty. So all the members have sat in Washington, that is in USA, and agreed, ratified that we are establishing an organization. And what is this organization is about? That is important here. It is a security alliance. That means whenever there is a security threat for any of the members in NATO, all the members will come together and they will support it, right? So this is a security alliance, not an economic or environmental alliance. You may confuse. This is exclusively of security alliance. Now this has become 32. Okay, officially you can say there are 32 after Sweden being joined, and most of the countries are from North America, that is Canada, Mexico, USA, and then the European countries, most of the members. And headquarters, very, very important, Brussels in Belgium, not in USA, don't confuse. So this is the objective, that is security alliance. Facts is it was established through Washington Treaty in 1949, and then it is headquarters at Brussels. Now what are the objectives of the NATO? This may be also asked in the exam, and you all know it is a security alliance. So if any country is attacking one of the countries under NATO, it means that that country has attacked all the countries. So all the countries will rush and defend it and also attack those countries which attacks this country, right? So this is the collective defense organization which mutually support all the members. Of course, they need funding support from all the countries to run this NATO agreement, right? So this is the objective of NATO. Now, what are all the countries? You no need to worry to remember all the countries. The recent ones are Sweden, and then Norway, sorry, not Norway, Finland. Here are also given here. So the most recent one was the Sweden, and then before that Finland has also joined it, right? So these are the countries. You can just remember how many countries are there, total 32, and what are the two countries that has recently joined, right? So Finland and Sweden. Now why Sweden want to join NATO? Initially it was very neutral, that we are not going to join any country or any groups. We want to become neutral. But Russia has attacked Ukraine, and Ukraine is not a member of NATO, right? So all the countries will not be able to help it. That is not under the agreement, and Ukraine is not a member. So Sweden felt that they may also be affected by Russia in the future. So if we become part of this NATO, then yes, this many countries, 31, 32 countries can come together and they will help us, right? So that is why Sweden has joined, because of Russia attacking the Ukraine has scared them that they want some support from certain countries, right? So that's why Sweden has asked, and then finally it has become a member yesterday, right? So this is the why Sweden want the membership. Next one, Amrit Bharat station scheme. Any doubt in this? Related to NATO? I hope it is clear. We have discussed the members, the context that Sweden has joined, and then what has happened, why there was a delay in adding into the Sweden into the list, and then what is NATO, what is the objective, finally who are all the members, and why Sweden want to join the block of NATO, right? We have seen it very clearly, and if you have any doubts, you can ask here, I will answer. Next article, Amrit Bharat station scheme. This is a factual one, no need to worry about too much about the concepts. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has virtually launched redevelopment of 553 railway station. This number is also important. Redevelopment of 553 railway station with the cost of 19,000 crores of rupees. That's the context. Very, very important. You need to remember the funding as well, and then the project, how many railway stations has launched. Now, what actually is Amrit Bharat station scheme? You all know railway stations in India are not that clean, especially just few years before. Now it is fine, but still there is a lot of thing to improve. So government has introduced this particular scheme in 2023 and through Ministry of Railways. So Ministry of Railways has established Amrit Bharat station scheme, and it aimed for the long-term development of the stations. It is not like just clean it and then remain clean for few days and immediately after that there will some change, some dirtiness, right? So this government or this Ministry of Railways has aimed to develop in a long-term manner. The cleanliness, the facilities, everything should be in a long-term, long-lasting manner. And they are selecting initially 1309 stations under the scheme, and now the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has launched for 553 stations, and still they are going to take. But this is the, as of now, this is the target that government has kept. Okay, so as in a long-term manner they want to enhance. And one more thing, this railway station will act as a city centers. So in cities like Hyderabad or Delhi, you can go Bangalore, there are a lot of city centers, malls. There you can see very hygienic condition, and it's like a most superior place in given city. So railway stations are going to be developed in form of city centers where everything will be added there. You can shop, you can do anything, whatever the recreation. So all the things will be kept at one place. So railway station will get a lot of revenue, and that revenue will go to government, right? So very less revenue, or railways is in very in losses currently. But if government can do this, developing city center like condition in the railway station, government can earn lot of revenue, right? And also in turn, they can maintain very good cleanliness in a long-term manner in the railway stations, right? So that is the objective, and then roof, plaza, city centers, everything will be constructed so that revenue will increase. That is simple about Amrit Bharat station scheme. Yes, as there are no doubts, we are moving ahead. The third article is Garbhini program. So you already got some clue. It is related to the motherhood, right? So Garbhini program. Why it is there in news? Why I have taken this article? This is taken from The Hindu. That researchers from India, IIT Madras, they have developed to know the gestation period or gestational age of fetus. Now nobody knows, doctors will give estimated delivery time, and we never know. It can be 10 days delay, it can be 10 days early, it can be 1 month delay, it can be 1 month early. So there is no proper data or proper scientific measure to know exact delivery time. So researchers from India has developed a model. That is, we will see what is the model. Garbhini GA2 they have developed so that they know exactly when the mother is going to deliver. So based on that, they can take care of the health of child as well as mother, right? Which is a good thing. If you know, it is not going to estimate the gender, of course, that is illegal. But yes, they are going to estimate the gestation period. Pregnancy will remain how many months, and what are all the measures can be taken towards mother as well as towards child can be known, right? So researchers from Indian Institute of Madras, and then this is very, very important, Translational Health Science and Technology Institute. This is located in Faridabad, UP, right? Very important. This organization is leading the Garbhini program. That's why you need to remember where it is and which organization is leading. So they have developed this Garbhini G2, which can estimate the gestation period. That's why we have taken this article, right? So it is a part of, they have discovered something, Garbhini GA2, but this is a part of already existing scheme, that is Garbhini program. So under the Garbhini program itself, these researchers were participating, and they have discovered Garbhini GA2 tool to detect the exact gestation period of the pregnancy. Now we need to know about the Garbhini program, and then we will go to the model developed by the researchers. Okay. So what is this Garbhini program? Its main aim is to provide a good health, good suggestions to the mother and related to the child until the delivery is over. So this was launched by Ministry of Health, by the Government of India, to improve the health of women and child. It is being initiated under Department of, it is under Department of Ministry of Science and Technology, not Ministry of Health. Please make a correction and keep it in mind, because in exam you may be confused, right? So even after reading 2-3 times, I have forgot or I have confused. So don't confuse. Even though this is related to the health, this is taken by Department of Biotechnology under Ministry of Science and Technology, this program. Okay. So it is an interdisciplinary where they can take suggestions from different organization. And this program is being led by Translational Health Science and Technology Institute located in Faridabad. Okay. So that's what we have known from this program. Now, what the model developed by the researchers, that name is Garbhini GA2. You need to remember, they will ask what is Garbhini GA2 that were in news. It is nothing but an artificial tool that has developed by the researchers to estimate the gestation period. Gestation period means how many days the pregnancy will remain. That is called as gestation period. So this estimation has been done by these researchers using this artificial tool. Very, very important. Okay. And what is the aim? If we are able to estimate the exact time, we know what type of measures has to be taken, when the delivery will be completed. So all the measures are pre-known. So accordingly the measures can be taken, right? So that is about the Garbhini GA2 program. So there are a lot of facts you need to remember. We have seen what is the context that research has developed one model. Who are involved? IIT Madras and Translational Health Science Society. So these two has involved. That's why this is part of already existing scheme, that is Garbhini program. They have launched within this scheme itself. We have known about this. We have known about this scheme, and then we have seen what they have developed. That also be completed, right? Next article, this will take a little bit time, but trust me, this is one of the most important articles. We will see the constitutional provisions and then what are all the measures taken. So, very important facts and issues involved in this Right to Education Act. Okay. Before knowing the act, the provisions, we need to know the context. Why it is there in news? Context is also always important because it is the one that is being dragged the issue into current affairs, right? They will ask you. Maharashtra joined already, 2 states has implemented to dilute private schools obligation under Right to Education Act 2009. You may confuse, sir, what is this obligation and all? Yes, I am going to discuss the obligation and then we will discuss what measures Maharashtra has taken. Okay, this is just the context that Maharashtra has diluted the private school obligations. And what are those obligations? Now let's see. Understand the background. Under Right to Education Act of 2009, there is already an act. Under that, the act places obligation on all the private organization in the states or across the states, that at least 25% of students at the level of class 1 has to be from poorer sections. That means it can be from scheduled caste, scheduled tribes or other backward castes. So at least 25% of the class 1 students when they are joining the school, because they will continue the school, isn't it? So at least 25% will be maintained, right? So this 25% of class 1 should be given to weaker sections and disadvantaged sections. All private schools has to follow it, right? Rest of the 75% seats, it is up to their discretion. Now, students who are admitted under this 25% quota will have a fee concession, very minimal fees like books, uniforms, all those things except the school fees and all will be reimbursed by the state government. Okay, so remember, not a central government but the state government. Whatever the expenses that the private schools are bearing after allowing 25%, those costs will be borne by state governments. This is also important, not central government but state government. This is the obligation that we are talking about. Maharashtra has removed this, that no need of allowing the 25% reservation for disadvantaged communities, right? So that's they have removed. Now, what are the new rules brought by the Maharashtra? That will also be important for our exam. Maharashtra has said that if there is any government school in any place in Maharashtra, within 1 kilometer radius, right? This is radius, within 1 kilometer radius, whatever the private schools are there, they no need to follow this 25% reservation for disadvantaged communities. Only within 1 kilometer radius. For other schools, they have to follow the 25% obligation reservation to the disadvantaged communities. But private schools within 1 radius, no need to follow this rule. And why they have done? They have done this because they want to develop government schools. Those students, 25% students who are joining in private schools will be shifted toward this school, the government school which is located in the area. So they are indirectly trying to develop the government schools. The students will shift to the government schools, and it is government obligation, of course, right? So they don't want to close the government schools, rather they want to force the students to go to government schools, right? So that is about the context and what Maharashtra has taken. Now we need to know about the Right to Education Act. Let's so let's know this Right to Education Act. Let's know the background. The Supreme Court cases are also very, very important for our exams, so that's why we need to know. In 1993, Supreme Court, in the case Unnikrishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh. So there is a Supreme Court pronouncement. Try to understand now. In 1993, Supreme Court, in the case of Unnikrishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh, has said that right to education, to have an education is a fundamental right. Fundamental right means Part 3 of Indian Constitution. So Supreme Court has pronounced this. This was called as a very important measure in the Indian political system, that it has enabled everyone to have an education. And it said that this right to free education derives from Article 21, which is already existing, that is right to life, right? So they said that education should be free to everyone under Article 21. Supreme Court has also noted that every citizen should have a free education until 14 years age. Isn't it? Education is the most basic thing. If societies wants to move forward, education is the most basic thing, and many people in India were not able to get it because of lot of constraint. But now Supreme Court has pronounced that every citizen should have a right to education until age of 14, right? So this is the background, this is the case you need to remember. Now after Supreme Court pronouncement, government has come up with amendment within the Constitution. These amendments are also very important. They will ask you in the exam for sure about all these amendments. They have brought 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. They have made the changes in the Constitution. And what changes they have made, that we will see. This year is also important when the amendment was made, and then 86th Constitutional Amendment. Those things also you need to remember. Now, what changes this amendment has brought, 86th Constitutional Amendment? First thing, they have added a provision called Article 21A. Already Article 21 was there. They have added one Article 21A under fundamental rights. And what it says right to education. So every child in India should have a free education from 6 to 14 years. 6 to 14 years should have a free education. Okay. So if you want to join government school, yes, you will get a free education for your child between 6 to 14. Also, one more provision they have added, directive principles of state policy. This is a part 4, isn't it? So if you are thorough with the polity, there is already a part 4 of Indian Constitution which says directive principles of state policy. It has changed the Article 45. They have completely changed the article which is already existing, that state, that is government should provide early childhood care. In fundamental right, whatever mentioned is mandatory. Nobody can escape 6 to 14 years old. But here under Article 45, they are suggesting the government that until the age of 6 years, try to give education. It is not mandatory, but it is guiding the government to support the early childhood education, like pre-KG, LKG, UKG. So those things also try to give, not only of 1 class to the 10th class, that is 6 to 14 years, but also try to give this. This is not mandatory, but a suggestion. That's the the role of directive principles, right? Next is fundamental duties. One more change it has made, that is under Article 51A. This is part 4A under Constitution, and Article 51A, very important. It said to the parents, not to the government, but parents, whoever are there, try to provide education between 6 to 14 years. It has obligated the governments, it has suggested government again to give below 6 years age education, and also it has asked the parents to support the students from 6 to 14 years. Don't send your children to the working, rather give them education. That's what the Constitution, these changes has made by the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. All these provisions are very, very important. You will see lot of questions from these provisions. Okay, so all these numbers are important. Article 21A, 45, 51A, and the provisions. All these are part of 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so they have made changes in the Constitution, but still isn't over yet. Okay, so I have energy to explain you, but you should have a patience to listen me as well, right? So they have enforced, they have just added constitution provision in the Article 21A, but to implement the act, they have also brought some, to implement the constitutional framework, they have brought an act, that is Right to Child Free and Compulsory Education, in 2009. When the amendment was made, in 2002, they have made amendment, but now they have made a clear provisions. Those provisions are also important, and it was asked in the exam. Okay, let's see some important provisions which are relevant for our exam. All the children between age 6 to 14 will get the free education. That's the act has said, which is already said by the Supreme Court. Child above 6 years of age who is not enrolled in the school and was unable to continue. See, some students at the age of 10 or at the age of even 6, 7, they will drop out, and after 3-4 years they want to continue the education. So those students are also should be enrolled at an appropriate class. So if a student has dropped in second class at the age of 7 or 6, now they have grown for 3 years, like they have gone for 10 years. They should not be enrolled in first class, but they should be enrolled in the 5th class, right? Because they have missed for some other reasons. Rather than putting them in second class, we will put it on 5th class based on their age. This is an important provision. They will twist these statements and then they will make you confused in the exam. And then elementary education should be free for all until elementary education means what? The education until 10th class, right? So you can say some 8th class as well, not actually 10th. It is up to 8th class, and even if the child has crossed 14, some students will cross 14 and they did not educate in the schools, say for example 15 years, 16 years, still they are eligible to get a free education, because elementary education is mandatory. Nobody should skip it. Everyone should have, even if they are crossing the 14 years age. This provision is also very important to remember. Then, no child shall be held back. If some students failed because of various reasons, they should not held back. They should not held back until the class of 8th. Now this provision was removed and added to the discretion of the states. So whatever they frame, it can be followed. But when it was launched, no student should be failed until 8th class. This provision was removed and given discretion to the state governments. Also, appropriate government, that is state governments, has to take provisions related to the curriculum, what type of education to be given, what type of measures has to be provided. All these things has given to the power for state government. Similarly, people-teacher ratio, for every, say for example 30 students, one teacher should be there, 60 students, one teacher should be there. So approximately the number has to be maintained. It should not that one teacher in school has for 600 students. So there should be an appropriate number of teachers, right? And teachers should be tested with TET exam, teachers eligibility test. That means they are trying to maintain the quality among the teachers. This is also made mandatory. And then, so all children free education will be provided by the government schools. No government school should be rejected the students. So that is also provision. And then 25% the aided school. That means if any school is taking, if this school A is taking support funding from government, government is providing 30% of total funding of the school, then not 25% but 30% reservation has to be given to those students who are disadvantaged, right? So if government is not funding, then minimum 25%, but if government is providing some funding, then based on the funding nature, they have to give free education to those students, right? So teachers are prohibited to take any private tuitions. You all know some teachers in the school say that you come to tuition in the evening 6 o'clock, I will teach you in a better way. So that should not happen. All the government teachers are banned to conduct any private tuitions by the act, right? So all these provisions are very, very important. That's why I have discussed exhaustively. Nothing you will be related to the right to education in India. We have seen the context, what Maharashtra has done and what provisions they have added. Finally, and then about constitutional amendments that has been made. Finally, RT Act provisions which are relevant for our exams, right? So any doubts in this? This is a very important provision. That's why I have in detail discussed with you. It is not just for simply to enhance the time, but it is very, very important, right? So all the provisions has to be remembered. Next article, world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector. Why? It is there in news. Recently, Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has launched world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector. In cooperative sector. Cooperative means where the owners and the customers are same, consumers are same. So those are cooperative sector where 2-3 people or more than people come together and they will start some business or some production, right? So world's largest storage plan was unveiled by Prime Minister. We will see what are those provisions and all which are relevant for our exam. And this cooperative or this storage, grain storage will be taken in primary agriculture credit societies. Primary agriculture credit societies. We will also see what are PACS, primary agriculture credit society. We will see those things also, don't worry. Just understand the context that the grain storage, world's grain storage plan has been established. Okay. Yeah, so move ahead, understanding the background. Before going why government is creating this world's largest grain plan, we will see the condition of India also. And all these facts are very, very important to be remembered. Okay, so whatever exams you write, you will see these questions on this data. Before going why government has creating the world's largest storage plan, we are seeing the condition of India. India holds 11% of total cultivable area. That means on the earth, whatever the area that is suitable for agriculture, right? So among those area, we have 11% of total area. We have more than 200 countries and we are holding 11% of agriculture area, which is a very good thing. And total in terms of area, you can say 16 crore hectares. The data is very important. In the world, we have 138 crore hectares. Out of it, 16 is of India only. But land is fine. We have only 11% and population, see how much we has, 18%. We have agriculture land of 11% and populations are much more. So we need to feed, we need to get more productivity from the land, right? So that is the obligation, that is the background or situation that is in India. Now, total food grain production of India according to Food and Agriculture Organization, recent data only, a year before data, so this is also important. The total food production including all the crops is 311 million metric tons. The total food production by India, this number is very, very important, okay? And the storage that we has only 145 million metric tons. See the production, see the storage. How is it possible, how we can store with a good quality? This is a difficult thing. So there is a gap of 166 million metric ton storage in India. There is a gap, right? What we are producing, we don't have that much storage, right? So the surplus storage capacity in other countries is 131%. That means if we are producing 100 million metric tons, there is a 131 million metric storage. So they have excess storage. But India has only not even 15, approximately 47% storage is only there, right? So after knowing all these situations, now government to handle this situation is going to create a world's largest storage capacity. So to fill this lack of 166 million metric ton storage. These all numbers are very important, okay? Try to remember them. So world's largest grain storage plan was launched to overcome this challenge, right? Now, they are being launched in primary agriculture credit societies. Where they are creating this, they are not trying to create a new, get the new space and then create under the government. Already there is some primary agriculture credit societies. Under this, they are going to create this infrastructure. So we need to know about the PACs as well, primary agriculture credit societies. So these are village level credit societies. These are at the village level. You can visualize how the villages are. So at the village level, there are cooperative societies, the credit societies, because see, in the older period, if you go 2 decades or 3 decades before, even today also, farmers does not have money and they lend from local money lenders and they kept in the debt trap. So the farmers, they will collect lot of interest and then farmers cannot able to pay. So they are fall in the debt, debt trap. So to overcome this, there are some state cooperative banks. They will give money to PACs and then ask to give loans, to give small loans to the farmers, so that they won't take loans from the money lenders. They will come to these societies and take the credit, right? So that is the objective. They provide credit loans to the small farmers with a small amount, so that they can buy seeds, they can till, and they can produce, and after gaining profit they will pay back the loan to the primary agriculture credit societies. So these funds are being given by the respective state cooperative banks. Okay, so this, whenever state is giving the fund, it will go to district central cooperative banks, and district central cooperative banks in turn will give to the PACs, and PACs will receive the fund and finally disburse to the farmers. That is the mechanism. And the first PACs was established in 1904, way back, even before independence of India, right? So this is the mechanism how PACs work, right? Now, what is the plan about world largest grain storage plan? What is the plan about? That is also important. So here already there are primary agriculture credit societies. Within that, they are going to create warehouses, customer hiring centers, processing units, and more. Everything related to agriculture will created under PACs, because PACs are located where? At the village level. So at the village level itself, everything is being created, storage, processing. So the wastage will reduce. Now approximately 20 to 25% of total amount, total product that government is, the India is producing, is going in form of waste. You can see there's a lot of wastage in Indian agriculture. So if we are able to create at a local level, at village level, so all these things will be stored properly and the wastage will reduce, and in turn, what will happen? The food consumption will be enhanced. The poverty also will be decreased. So that is the overall objective of this plan. They want to reduce waste, and then they want to create storage units, and finally they want to enhance the nutrition quality among the people, right? And who are implementing this? This is being implemented under the leadership of Ministry of Cooperation, and there are many other ministries involved: Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food Processing Ministry, right? And then relevant secretaries. So all these ministries are all involving, they come together, they give guidelines and accordingly coordinate to implement this world largest grain storage capacity. So any doubts in this? We have a very good discussion on this. All the facts has been discussed. We have seen the context, and then we have seen what is the situation of India. These are all facts, very, very important. And after that, there are where they are going to create storage facilities, PACs. So we have seen what PACs are, and then finally we have seen what the plan and who are all implementing it, right? So that is about the program. Next, Growth Hub program. From now, articles will be very short, so each article can be completed in 2-3 minutes only. Okay, so mostly factual in nature. Growth Hub, it is a NITI Aayog program, National Institute of Transformation of India, NITI Aayog program. Recently, the context is this: Mumbai, Varanasi, Surat, Visakhapatnam. Remember these four cities has been selected, and these cities are called as growth hubs. So here growth hub program comes from this. They are going to select certain cities in India and develop them in terms of infrastructure with the support of state governments, and can be enhanced as a growth hubs where employment can be generated, cleanliness be provided, GDP production can happen. So that is the growth hub program, right, of NITI Aayog. Now, NITI Aayog has conceived the certain cities will be selected and they will be called as a growth hubs where infrastructure will be developed with the support of state governments, right? So in the end, they will enhance the production, economic growth, contribution to GDP will increase, right? Because cities are the areas where companies will come and invest. If it is a good in condition, then more companies will come, invest more, and then economic production will increase. It is being handled by NITI Aayog, as I said earlier, with the support of state governments, right? That's all, very simple. NITI Aayog, and then to develop cities to contribute for economic growth with the support of state governments. So 4 cities has been selected: Mumbai, Varanasi, Surat and Visakhapatnam. Next one, Mohinder Singh Gill versus Chief Election Commissioner case of 1978. Okay, so this case, a very simple thing. We will see the context why it was there in news in the Hindu, and then we will briefly see what is the case is about. Recently, you all know that electoral bonds has been quashed by Supreme Court. I already discussed in the previous sessions when they were in current affairs. Similarly, in Chandigarh polls, a mayor from BJP party was removed and Aam Aadmi Party mayor was re-established because that was 8 members were illegally cancelled by the respective returning officer. So there are 2 contexts where Supreme Court has observed that free and fair elections are very basic structure of the Indian Constitution. So under this article, Supreme Court, under this article in the sense, the Hindu article, Supreme Court has quoted the case Mohinder Singh Gill versus Chief Election Commissioner 1978. What they have quoted, what this thing, very important to understand. Understand this quote: little and large Indian. Little means the people who are middle class or below middle class, not the rich corporates. And then they are the major part of India, isn't it? The middle class and the poor people are the major part. Though they are little in terms of economy or in terms of status, but there is a large amount of people in this status. So shall not be hijacked. Okay, fine. So this is actually a reverse thing. So little and large Indian means the people who are corporates. Sorry. So you try to understand this. Little and large Indian, that means very small amount of rich like Adanis, Ambanis, and they are large in terms of status. So as I said, this was reverse. Little here means the less number of rich people, and then the large India means they are rich people. So those people should not hijack the free and fair elections in India. Okay, so because they are giving more funds to the government or party in power, so the provisions of the measures taken will be supporting those private players. So that should not happen. So this is the context where the case has come. In this case, previously Supreme Court has said that corporates should not handle this or affect the free and fair elections, right? And what are the provisions mentioned under the case judgment? That is also important for us. That is being asked in the exams. So it said, Supreme Court has observed few things. Article 324 of Indian Constitution gives power for Election Commission of India to take all necessary steps, whatever steps are necessary to conduct free and fair elections can be taken. Article 324 says that, right? But it is saying, but only it should be to conduct free and fair elections. If it is affecting, then it is the remark on Election Commission. Only thing is that they can use power to conduct free and fair elections, right? So ECI can draw powers under Article 324 only if there is no law. Who makes the law? Parliament makes the law, and members of the parliament are the one who is elected by the people, isn't it? So those are the authorities which have power because they are elected by the people. So if there is no law, then only you will be able to handle the provisions. If there is already any law, you have to follow because that is made by the parliament. So 324 gives only power which is no law exists at that time. If there is law, they have to follow, right? Also, transfer of government officials like IAS officers, IPS officers cannot be done on discretion manner. During elections, if you have observed, Election Commission of India usually transfers many of the IAS, IPS officers to conduct the free and fair elections. But they should take consultation of state governments because transfer of the authorities or the IAS officers or the IPS officers are under the exclusive jurisdiction of state governments. Though during elections ECI can transfer, but they have to take permission from state government. All these pronouncements has been made under Mohinder Singh Gill versus Chief Election Commission of India, right? These provisions are very important. Arpit Tiwari, you have said no, sir. So I did not understand. A little bit elaboration you can comment if you have any doubt. Okay. So does not confer, Article 324 does not confer absolute powers on election commissioner. There is a limited power only. So all these provisions are important for our exam. Next article, very interesting article, but short article, Blanets. Okay. So Blanets, what are those planets? Before that, you all know that in our solar system there is a sun, right? And then there are planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and there are 8 such planets. Pluto is not planet now, so there are total 8 planets. So planet here means what? Those space bodies which are rotating or revolving, you can say, around star. Sun is a star, isn't it? Sun is nothing but a star. So planets are revolving around stars. That is known fact. But now scientists has discovered that some planets are revolving around black hole. We will see what is black hole, no need to worry. Just understand the context that some space bodies are revolving around the black holes. So those are called as planets. Planets are those bodies that are revolving around the black holes. Now let's understand a little bit more about planets, and then we will go for black hole as well. Okay, so planets here are the exoplanets. That means similar to the planets like Earth, Mercury, Mars. Similar to the planets, exo means similar to, but they are revolving around the black holes, not around the star. So that is the theme. You will see this question for sure in the coming exam. These planets orbit not stars but black holes that we have seen. And one important thing is these planets, not planets but planets, are fundamentally similar to the planets, that revolving and the composition are similar to the planets, but the thing is they are not massive enough. I mean in terms of size they are not very massive, and they are not going to undergo a nuclear fission. See, the planets that are revolving around the sun, Earth, Mars, or Venus, Mercury, these all can go under thermonuclear fission in the future, and they themselves can become the stars. We never, I mean, after few lakhs of years, Earth will become a star rather than a planet. It is its capability, all the 8 planets' capabilities. But these planets don't have that capacity to undergo nuclear fission and become a star. So that is the fundamental difference between planets and planets. Now, in 2019, few years before, scientists has observed that some bodies are rotating around the black holes. Those are named as Blanets. Okay, here Blanets means, here black hole, B means black hole, that's why they have given Blanets, right? And this suspected Blanets were formed on the accretion. So whenever the body or the black hole is rotating, revolving around itself with a very speed manner, the dust particles has spread and then some bodies has formed in the space. So that's how the planets are formed. Now you may ask, what actually is black hole? Why this is very confusing? We understood that some bodies are revolving around the black holes, but now what are black holes? Black holes are those regions in space, like you can see in many regions, where the gravitational pull is very high. Like Earth has some gravity, it cannot pull beyond certain level, but these black holes has high gravity where any body that is going surrounding it will pull into it, right? So that is the black hole, where the gravity is very high and it can pull any of the bodies in the space. Those are called as black holes. Now, so if it is capturing everything, like even light cannot escape from the black hole, even the light will be captured by the black hole, then why are these bodies rotating around it? Planets should go into it, isn't it? That's the context of black hole. Why they are not going? Because they are one of the largest. These planets are much larger in size, and then they are much farther. 100 trillion. Trillion means, right, 100 billion. So it is much distance away than black holes. They are rotating in a much longer distance than how Earth and other planets are rotating or revolving around the sun, right? So they are far away. That's why they are not able to capture by the black hole. So that is about the article. Any doubts in this? So very interesting thing, planets we have seen what is planet, and then where they are located around the black holes and what black holes are we have discussed, right? Going into the next article, Bharat Tex 2024. So this is a conference recently inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister in Bharata Mandapa, which was created 2 years before to conduct the conferences, very big Mandapa place in Delhi. Okay, so Bharat Tex 2024 conference is happening in New Delhi. That's why we have taken this article. Now, very simple, what is Bharat Tex? So here the term gives the clue, textiles. So Tex means textile. So all the people from India can come and showcase their textiles, the unique textiles all around the India. So what will happen? So others who will visit there will know the quality, and then it can promote the trade and investment in the textile sector, because there are unique goods which are not available in other parts of the world, right? So they are going to showcase everything related to the textiles, right? So it is promoting India's rich textile heritage collaboration with the industry. Private players will come and invest. Now, fact is, this Bharat Tex 2024, the partner states are Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. Very important to remember. The partner states who are doing Bharat Tex 2024 is Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. And who is organizing it? It is a consortium of 12 textile export promotion councils. We have a number of textile promotion council. All together they are conducting it. Okay. So where it is happening? New Delhi. And what is the objective? We have discussed that. And then who are all the partner states? That also we have discussed. Right. Next. Simple article, direct article, Dharma Guardian. It is a 5th edition of joint military exercise between India and Japan. Try to remember that, very simple. It is a military, not Air Force or Navy, but a military collaboration between India and Japan. And why they are collaborating? They will share the best practices, and the defense or the armies of India and Japan will grow. Very simple, not much facts. It is only a few things that you need to remember. It is an annual exercise. Happens alternatively, one time in India, one time in Japan, and then again India, and then Japan. So this is about the Dharma Guardian. Next, International Purple Fest 2024. Again, this is important, a small article only. Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. So it is under Ministry of Social Justice. They are organizing Purple Fest in Rashtrapati Bhavan. So yesterday it has happened in the President Rashtrapati Bhavan, where President resides. So this Ministry of Social Justice is conducting it. Now, the fest, what is the fest about? The fest about is everyone who are from persons from disabilities, they can showcase their what you call talent. So it is not like people with disability will not have or will have some challenges. Many people who are disabled have much higher skills than normal people. So but they were not encouraged. They were stigmatized, right? Even in bus or wherever it is, they are stigmatized by the society. That's why government is conducting to showcase their talent, whatever music, arts, everything you can come and showcase. So that will be a motivation to the Indian public, as well as it also encourage the people to invest in these activities where people are not able to get the employment, the people who are disabled, right? So the aim is to raise awareness about the disabilities and encourage. Already this Purple Fest has happened in Goa in last month, January 2024. It's just an extension of it. Already it has happened in Goa in January. Now it is an extension which is happening in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Next article. These are our articles which takes 1 or 2 minutes. So we'll be completing soon. 13th Ministerial Conference of World Trade Organization is happening in Abu Dhabi. It has started yesterday only, 26th February it has started. Okay. Now what we have to know? We have to know what is World Trade Organization, what is Ministerial Conference, and about this year Ministerial Conference as well. Before knowing this, let's understand what is World Trade Organization and then the facts related to it. So you all know trade means exports and imports between the countries, and now we are in a capitalist society, the free open economy, all the countries are open up. So to collaborate between these countries, there should be one organization which will collaborate between the countries so that there won't be any disputes, isn't it, in terms of trade. So World Trade Organization is an intergovernmental, right? That means all the governments come together and signed. It was established in 1995 through Marrakesh Agreement. Very important facts. They will directly ask what is Marrakesh Agreement. So Marrakesh Agreement was signed by all the countries and established a World Trade Organization, replacing General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. So already an agreement was there, 1948, but it was not effective. There was no effective principalities that has been implemented. So World Health Organization has replaced it with the Marrakesh Agreement. Now, this is World Trade Organization is the largest economic organization which has more than 164 countries. More than 164 countries are part of WTO and it is the largest economic organization. This is about WTO. Now, what is ministerial conference? If I could able to quote some example, in United Nations, UN, right? United Nations Organization, UNO. Under that, there are P5 countries like China, USA, France, Britain and Russia. The decisions are dominated by these P5 countries, isn't it? Not other countries have a equal say. But here in WTO, whatever the decision has to be taken, all the 164 countries has to give assent. It is not like UNO. Every person has equal powers and they can say only when the agreement can be implemented once all the countries are agreed, right? So that is the ministerial conference. Ministerial conference is the highest decision making body in the World Trade Organization. All the members or the ministries from different countries will come, and only when it is agreed the decisions are implemented. Now let's know about this year ministerial conference. It happens for every 2 years. So it is a biennial, not biannual but biennial. This year is the 13th edition. This will also be asked in the exam. This is 13th edition, and yesterday, that is 26th, 2 countries has joined the WTO. Now it has become 166, not 164. These 2 countries also important to remember. Comoros and then Timor-Leste, 2 countries has joined the World Trade Organization. So you need to remember how Sweden has joined the NATO member. Similarly, 2 countries has joined the WTO. They will ask you which country has recently joined. And this is happening in Abu Dhabi, UAE. Fact. Right? So that is about the World Trade Organization and the related facts, ministerial conference. Now, the last before article is Homo sub autumn. Very important. They will ask you again this one. This is a robot launched by Indian researchers. We will see who has established it. So it is a robot which can clean the septic tanks and then manholes. See, cleaning in manholes like drainage is a stigma, isn't it? According to the statistics, the lower caste people were much involved. 95% of manual scavengers or the manual workers were from lower castes only. So this is a contradictory thing or controversial thing which is prevalent in society. Indian government is trying to overcome this challenge. So there was a new instrument or new robo, Homo sub autumn, which can clean the manual holes as well as the septic tanks without the human interventions. So this robot can clean or collect the wastage, right? And then it can transport and disperse somewhere else. So this is the robot. Okay. Now it is India's first septic tank manhole cleaning robot. As I said, it is developed by a startup called as Solinas. Important to remember who has developed it. It is a startup, Solinas. But this startup was established with the support of IIT Madras and Department of Science and Technology. It is not a private startup, but government supported startup. Okay. So it was launched in the IIT Madras. This startup was launched with the support of IIT Madras, which involved in water sanitation, climate condition, etc. Okay. So it has penetrated to approximately 16 cities as of now. These are not that important, but just remember the name, what is the objective, who has launched it, right, and which institutions are involved, IIT Madras and Department of Science and Technology. Now, the last article before discussing the factual pointers, the new projects were launched by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Those are all important. 5 aims were All India Medical Sciences were launched in Rajkot, Gujarat, Bathinda, Punjab, Raebareli, UP, Kalyani, West Bengal, Mangalgiri, Andhra Pradesh. So now new 5 aims were established in India. So that is a fact. Then one more fact is National Institute for Naturopathy. It is named as Nisarg Gram. Very important. It was launched in Pune. Factual things. You have to mug up. We have no option but to mug up. National Institute for Naturopathy, which is named as Nisarg Gram, was launched in Pune. Okay. One more project, a new Mudra Panipat pipeline project. So you can see here from Gujarat to Haryana. right? So New Mundra, Panipat is located in Haryana, very famous for in the history of for wars, different Panipat battles. So it was established with 9,000 crores. It will transfer oil through pipe from Gujarat Mundra to Haryana. Now, what are the states involved is important. Apart from Gujarat, which is in Mundra, Haryana, Panipat, and then some districts of Rajasthan are also included in the project. So you can see here Rajasthan is also there. So 3 states are involved: New Mundra, Panipat pipeline. This is fact, right? Now there are some facts which need to be remembered for our exam. Very direct facts which has to be remembered. Recently, our Information and Broadcasting Minister has launched Regional Facilitation Office of Central Board of Film Certification in Chandigarh to promote doing of easy business in the filmmakers. So it was launched in Chandigarh. Very direct fact. Next, Oil India, which is a PSU, has organized roadshow, Confluence where Energy and Opportunity Coverage in Abu Dhabi. So this is a global roadshow which was conducted by Oil India in Abu Dhabi, UAE. So where it has happened is important. Next, first in the private sector, so this is the first time in the private sector that manufacturing of ammunition and missiles were opened by Adani Defense and Aerospace in Kanpur. Earlier, these are all the things, ammutations, all these things is handled by government itself because it is a very secure thing. Very important thing for national security. Now, this is for the first time that Adani Defense and Aerospace has launched ammunition and missiles manufacturing in Kanpur, which city, okay? And this will be the biggest in South Asia. Last fact for today, UAE has come out of Financial Action Task Force. FATF is a body established by G7 countries to take care of terrorist funding and all. So the funds should not go to the terrorist organization and other illegal activities. So this organization regulates that in the world. So UAE was put in grey list where it is giving support to the militant organization, but it was removed now. So they may ask which country was removed from FATF grey list. Okay, one more fact, last fact. February 27, that is today, is a World NGO Day, World Non-Governmental Organizations Day, to promote or to encourage the NGOs to work for more, to recognize their work. And the theme is building a sustainable future, the role of NGOs in achieving sustainable development. This is the theme. These are the 2 facts, of course, you need to remember. You cannot skip, right? So that is today's session. Now we will see some practice questions from the data that we have discussed. Okay, I hope you are ready. Yeah, please do answer the questions because it encourages us, isn't it? So we have discussed a lot of facts, lot of concepts. Try to answer the questions even if it is wrong, then it's fine, not a problem. Okay. First one, with reference to Amrit Bharat station scheme. We have discussed, isn't it? Amrit Bharat station scheme we have discussed. With regard to it, some statements are given and they are asking which are correct. First one, the scheme aims to develop high-speed rail connections between major cities. That is the first statement. And the second statement is, the scheme is based on preparing master planning from long-term implementation of same as per needs of the demand of the station. So, based on the demand of the station, it is a long-term development of any railway station. That is the second statement. The scheme has been launched by Ministry of Railways. So, any answers from your side? Okay, so it is released by, launched by Ministry of Railways, we have discussed because it is related to the railways. So at least third statement should be there and first statement is eliminated, first option is eliminated. The scheme is preparing long-term development of the stations, that is the objective. So second statement should be there, so C is eliminated. First statement, the scheme does not connect high speed, it is rather develop the railway stations. Very good, Malini and Ramya has answered B, both of you are correct. So this statement is wrong and answer is B. Yes, it is not to develop the railway lines, rather it would develop railway stations. Next, Growth and Hub program is an initiative of. Yes, Rambabu, correct. All of you are correct. I mean, 3 people have answered it very good. I thought one will be also be included and students will give the D answer. But your presence of mind is good that you have listened the class. Growth Hub program is an initiative of Urban Development Authority and state governments, NITI Aayog, NASACOM or Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. This we have discussed. NASACOM and World Bank is not at all involved. NASACOM is a software organization. So Urban Development Authority and state government, no. We have seen Ministry of Urban Affairs, no. It is NITI Aayog. Yes, Ramya, you are correct. Answer is C. Okay. Next question. With reference to world largest grain storage cooperative. So you can see if it is not visible, I'm a little bit going away. Second is C, you are correct, Ramya. Both of you are correct, Malini, Rambabu. Yes, 3 of you are correct. Now, let's test how you will answer this question. With reference to world's largest grain storage plan, which are incorrect. They are asking which are incorrect. Okay. So first one, it aims to create infrastructure facilities related to the agriculture across Indian state on pilot basis. I'm hoping to answer you this correct because this is a little bit tricky question. I'll see who all or can answer this. So it aims to create infrastructure facilities related to the agriculture across Indian states. It is an initiative of Ministry of Corporate Affairs in coordination with the various ministries. Primary agriculture credit societies will be used as a medium to create the desired infrastructure, and then none of the statements are incorrect. So they are asking incorrect and they are saying that none of the statements are incorrect. They are asking incorrect. Okay, try to read this again. They are asking incorrect, not correct. That's how the questions, at least 3-4 questions will be missed by the students in the exam, because they will miss what is incorrect and what is correct. So have a clear thing. So you are saying one student has answered it as D. We'll see. And any other answers? First statement is correct. They are asking incorrect. Let's keep a mind on it. It aims to create infrastructure facilities across Indian states. That is correct. It is an initiative of Ministry of Cooperatives, not the Corporate Affairs. See here, Ministry of Corporate Affairs were given, but it is launched by Ministry of Cooperative Affairs. Cooperative Affairs along with other ministries. So this statement is wrong. Yes, PACs will be used as a create. So as this is a wrong, so this will be wrong. As this statement gets correct. So answer is B, not D. Okay. So that's how the tricky can be made by the examiners. Next question. Homo sep autumn, recently mentioned in news, is a. We have seen this. This is a very direct question. Homo sep autumn is a extremely luminous active galactic nucleus, a robot to clean septic tanks and drainage, fundamental theory in physics that describe behavior of nature at below the scale of atoms, a network of nature protection areas in the territory of European Union. This is a direct question. Right? So this is not the thing. Fundamental theory of physics, that is a quantum theory, and then a robot, robot to clear. Yes, we have seen this, right? Homo sep autumn. So answer is B. Yes, both of you are correct, or most of you have answered it. Subrat, Roshan, Ramya, correct. Last question for today, and this is a little bit more analytical question. Consider the following statements regarding Right to Free and Compulsory Education Act of 2009. We have seen this, isn't it? So this we have discussed very exhaustively. Okay. First one, it provides free and compulsory education to all children between the age of 6 and 18. Second one, it specifies the duties and responsibility of appropriate governments, local authorities and parents in providing free and compulsory education. So last question, anyone? Okay, so this is correct. Second statement, it specifies duties, whether in terms of fundamental rights or fundamental duties or directive principles. So it specifies who all need to follow this. This is correct. So second statement should be there. Now first, it provides free and compulsory education for age group of 6 to 18. No, it is for 6 to 14 years. Yes, you are correct, Malini, Subrat. So answer is B. Oh, correct, right? So that is all for today's session. We had a very good details from as I said yesterday, that the sessions will have more deeper facts as well, not just about the concepts, because we want to make you clear these things. Current affairs is very, very important. Whatever exam you are writing, you should clear it, right? So that is the motto. And thanks for supporting us, and keep expanding or keep supporting us and keep liking us the videos, so it encourages us to do in a much better way, right? Thanks a lot and have a great day.